So 2001, the year after Sydney Olympics, was sort of a regrouping for me. I came back home from overseas and I raced in Brisbane for the Goodwill Games, and I had a really, really good race there and won that. And that was great because family and friends were there. From there, I was probably a bit overtrained and ended up with a stress fracture, quite a bad stress fracture that sort of saw me out for maybe 4 months, I think, until I got back on top of that. So from there, was starting to creep up towards Athens Olympic Games, 2004 Olympics. So I had to start getting myself right, and I had to start putting myself back into the races, especially to get some race fitness. So we had the Coffs Harbour selection race coming up. And that was a funny one, as in the selection was, if you won that race, you were just an automatic selection for the Australian Olympic team. Because I'd been out and things weren't going great, probably the last year and a half, I'd had some personal issues. It had really set me back quite a bit. I knew that I had to do nothing else but win that race to get in the team. And I really wanted to do another Olympics. I really felt like I could do better. To come away from Sydney Olympics without a medal, I really wanted a medal. And to be honest, it was my absolute focus was to sort of finish my journey of triathlon with an Olympic medal. So to win the Coffs Harbour race was huge for me. It was a real mental race. Physically, there were some really tough hills on that course. Emma Snowsall was in great form, coming off a World Championship win, and the other girls were always there, Nikki Hackett, and it was a hard race. So again, I just went off the front, and the course really suited my style of racing. The bike was tough, which meant the run legs in the runners were, tired, and I just knuckled down. And to qualify and to have so much time up my sleeve to prepare for the Olympics, it was crucial for me. I think my next race was Mooloolaba in Australia, where it was just a build-up race for me. I had to get myself back out there, and I finished in third place, I think behind Liz Blatchford. I can't remember, someone else. And it was hard for me to finish third. It's not something I was used to. Usually when I raced, I would race to win, and most of the time that would happen. I never really was in the thirds or fourth places. It was just my style of racing. Then from there, I aimed at racing Madrid World Championships, where I wasn't sure what would happen there. Wasn't quite sure of the form I was in. Was training hard, training okay. The course probably didn't suit me. It was a wetsuit swim. So to finish second to the USA girl, Sheila Toromina, was great, and I knew that I was actually ready to wind up my training and get ready for the Olympics from there. Honestly, the two Olympics that I went to, Sydney 2000 and Athens 2004, were really different. I mean, to have an Olympics in your hometown and to prepare for it and know that, people that you knew from home and all that were flying in, and we were the Aussies, and women's triathlon in Sydney was the very first event. So it was huge, very overwhelming. I think we sort of could have chilled out a little bit more about it, but it was, fantastic. I remember it was about 12 deep when you're going past the Opera House. It was huge. But again, I think the Aussie girls, McKillie was fantastic to get the silver medal. I think the rest of us, definitely were disappointed. So Athens Olympics, obviously a lot of history with Athens. Was just a completely different Olympics. I'd learnt from my first Olympics just to take it all in my stride and remember that what I was doing was swim, biking and running. Took it back to the basics, and just, for me, I did execute the race perfectly the way I wanted to. I missed the gold medal, but like I say, when you miss a medal altogether at your first Olympics, to come away with the silver was a huge relief.